my home interior. So I am really excited to be able to do this video finally, because I've been wanting to do it for such a long time, and I can finally say I'm back home. The wedding's over, the honeymoon's over, and I'm actually really excited to get back into doing face cams and things like that. If you have been wondering why there has been a huge lack of face cams recently, it's because face cams take me a really long time to do for some reason. It takes me a long time to check everything and edit, and I don't know, it just does. And I thought, you know, maybe just doing some videos without the face in would be better. But a lot of you did request that you'd want me to do more face cams, vlogs and things in the future. So I'm definitely going to be sharing more of those, and I'm really excited to be back. But I did actually buy a vlogging camera whilst I was on my honeymoon, and what happened was my bag actually got lost. I don't know if it's lost or stolen. I went on a cruise with MSC Cruises USA, and I put my bag outside the door and a staff member collected it for us. And there was 2 of them, by the way. And what happened was the bags got lost. In between the ship, in between the port, they were just gone. They just vanished, and nobody knows where they are, but it's got all my stuff in. It's got all my wedding gifts in. It's got all my clothes in, all my makeup in. It's been a nightmare, to be quite honest, but I'm back, and at least I'm back. At least I didn't get lost. But yeah, so hoping to get my vlogging camera back really soon. Not to, of course, darken the mood, but it has been a little bit annoying. And if you've noticed on Twitter, there's been a lot of tweets about it. I say a lot, there's only been 2. But yeah, it has been. But anyway, this is the build itself, and I do also have a lot to address, because what happened in my last video was I put up a little sign at the start of the video. There was somebody outside my house in the car, and they were out there for about 30 minutes, and they've been here quite a few times, and they actually live really, really close to me. They work on the farm, and they park outside the house, and they can look into my window for long periods of time. It could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, it could even be 2 hours. And it makes me feel really uncomfortable sometimes, but I know that it's not a malicious thing. And I think what they're trying to see is what I'm doing in here, and I don't think that they fully understand what's happening and why I'm talking to a screen. And maybe I should put a sign up just saying, you know, I'm recording in here, etc, etc. But I don't know. I do really want to say thank you to the people that did give me some really amazing advice and that were incredibly supportive on the video and said, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. And that just made me feel so incredibly happy to know that I have got people around me that support me, and I honestly want you to feel that it's the same back. So anyway, this is the house, and I have done a little bit of work. So I will show you, because I didn't actually do anything to this back area. So I think what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to stick some bushes there, because even though there probably aren't very many bushes here at all, in fact, I think there's actually greenhouses here, strangely. Yeah, it's a really odd area, but there are definitely some things around that I have no idea. But yeah, so I'm probably going to stick some bushes around here too. And yeah, I think that looks okay. So this area is the unknown, of course, and this part is my garden. So I never ever showed you this, but I actually did it off screen. I probably spent about 40 minutes off screen just going around and just making sure that it was, I guess, like my house. And I just needed 40 minutes because I needed to make it accurate, and I just didn't think it would be fun to start readjusting things on the camera. I mean, of course, if you'd like me to leave everything in on future, then I can do that. But the garden has really, really tall grass. And in fact, to make it incredibly accurate for you, what actually happened was before we went on our honeymoon and wedding, what happened was my husband decided that it would be a really good idea to mow the middle of the lawn. So nothing around it is actually mowed. This bit is just like completely walkable. You can just walk straight down here, and it's a really nice area. And these 2 here are just full of grass. But yeah, so it looks really, really, really strange. But that's how it looks at the moment. So it's incredibly odd, but I don't know. I'm hoping he'll fix it. He's not a very DIY sort of person, so I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping too much. We'll find out. The plants themselves are pretty accurate. I did get a couple of comments saying those plants are ridiculously enlarged. It's probably not accurate. But the bushes they're really, really tall, and I'll try and take some pictures at some point, and maybe I'll share them with you on Twitter if you follow me on there. But yeah, the bushes are as accurate as I can possibly get them right now. They're more like weeds though. It's a little bit odd. And of course, we do have the front area, which I did go over just briefly, and that was just me in my own time. In fact, I did think I showed this on the last video, just some pots and pans, just random items around. But yeah, so the front area here, I actually changed it to this traditional door because I think the traditional door just fits in much nicer than the other one. The other one was a little bit too modern for me, and I think that this one really does suit the house, and it does feel a little bit more like home for me. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Now the interior of the build, I actually coated my whole house in this white paint, and it's really, really bright, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted to make sure that it was accurate, of course, but this is how it looks. I do have lots and lots of tiled floorings. In fact, my whole house is completely in the tiles. So I thought instead of leaving that on as well, instead of picking out the individual wall paints and stuff, I would just do that off camera, and that would make things a lot easier. And yeah, the balcony is humongous, by the way. I never realised my balcony was that big. I don't even have any furniture out there, so that'll be pretty easy to decorate. And going on to this area here, this will hopefully answer a couple of questions as to why I haven't got a front door. The front door is actually shared between my house, between my landlord and landlady's house, and between my next door neighbour's house. Now, the next door neighbour actually lives around here, so I don't even think they use this area because I don't see them a lot, but when I see them, it's never nice. They are superbly aggressive, and they're just really, really difficult to get on with. But I'll probably explain that another time because, yeah, I really have had nightmares from hell in the past. It's not going very well around here. Also, my car got bashed. My car actually got bashed as soon as I got back. I was really, really sad to find a humongous scratch mark down the front, and I don't know where it came from, but I can't even do anything about it. Alright, also, I'm going to put some bins out here. Did I put some bins out here? The bins tend to go right beneath my car here, so right at the back. It's superbly awkward for me, and it means that I can't get my car out. And actually what happened today was it was a little bit dark in the morning, and I reversed my car out, and I went straight over those bins. Luckily, I didn't damage my car, but I have no idea why they're put there. It's a really odd place for the people to put them, but they're not my bins. I use the bins, but I don't know. This is my postman. This is my postman here. He's always there. In fact, he was here before. He's always there. And it's always a different one. So it's sometimes a post lady as well. Anyway, this is the hallway of my house. So we go through this area here and we go into this wonderful area here. And it's actually a really, really small place. I only have a little storage cabinet here. I don't even know if we can get an accurate one. It's probably going to look like a bookcase, but it's actually for hanging shoes and things. But it's just a really odd place to have anything. Actually, maybe that would be a better option. It's like that, but it doesn't actually have the flowers. And where you'd imagine the flowers, it has glass. And we have some shoes in there. We also have some keys, random coats, etc., which never fit in there. So I don't know. I have no idea what's in there really. Over here, we have something on the wall, which I like to call the key storage cabinet. However, there are never any keys kept in here. And in fact, it's a really useless place in the house because there is never any keys here. I'm not even kidding. It's got the perfect hangers for them. It cost us a fortune from a Christmas market in Germany. I think we went to Strasbourg. I think it was Christmas market. Yeah. It's the best way to do it. It's a big board, and it's got lots of decorative items here and some little hooks. That's the best way to do it. In fact, maybe as well I could put that beneath it, use a little bit of moving objects sheet there. In fact, maybe take that out. That looks the most accurate I'm going to get to it. It's a really odd thing, and I will try and describe it in another way if I can. But we do actually tend to keep some shoes here, so this tends to be the place where I keep shoes. We don't have a rack for them, and there are usually odd shoes because my dog, my gorgeous little dog, always tends to take my shoes, and yeah, I never have the correct shoes. That's why I'm always late for places. It's awful. He takes everything. He always takes my really expensive ones as well. He doesn't like any cheap shoes. No, he goes for the brands. That's what he likes. Anyway, this is my bathroom. So my bathroom has actually never been used. The shower anyway, the toilets of course, but the shower never has been used in its whole lifetime, and it's really odd. But I use the one upstairs. Nothing personal, nothing at all, but I don't know, I just don't, and it's a really odd thing having it there. I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't actually have any shelves. It's more of a plain storage cabinet. In fact, I'm probably going to go for this one because it's the closest I'm going to get. We also do have a little sink just there. So the sink is, I think we actually have rounded sinks, but the rounded ones are pretty cheap. Okay, we'll go for that. And we do have a tiny little mirror, which is in a really odd place actually. It's about there, but that doesn't look very good, so I'm probably going to put it over there. Then I think we have the toilet over here. I actually think that the bathroom is probably too big, and I would actually like to make it smaller, but I don't think that I'll be able to do that, unfortunately. I'm actually going to get rid of this storage cabinet, and I'm going to stick a toilet there, because I actually think that's where my toilet is. I think the room is actually a lot smaller than this, and it's not this big at all. The shower itself, oh, I know what I should do. It's a bigger shower. It's one of these, or at least it's curved. It's a really odd one, because it's like this sort of size, but it's actually curved. And I'm gonna stick my toilet over here just for the sake of it. In fact, I don't even think my toilet's there. I have some serious issues at the moment with remembering how my bathroom looks. But anyway, this is more or less how the room is going to finish off. I mean, it's as basic as I can possibly make it. I can't remember exactly where everything is. I think if I could, I'd have the shower like that. In fact, I could, but it looks pretty bad, so I'm probably gonna keep it like that. And yeah, it's not the nicest room, but it's super basic, and it doesn't even have a rug or anything in there. That is just how it is, but I don't really use it. Going on to the lounge area. The lounge area is the lounge area that you see me sitting in at the moment. In fact, you might see it on my background shots of the camera. I'm not too sure. But I actually have a double desk with my husband, which is a really, really cute thing. We actually bought 2 of these matching desks from, I think it was Conforama, I think it's called. I don't know. But anyway, it's in Switzerland. It's a company, and we got most of our furniture from there because it was a really reasonably priced store, which we were actually struggling to find in Switzerland. And we just couldn't get the right furniture for us. It was just a real struggle to find something that would go there. And we were looking for ages, and we actually found these sort of connecting L-shaped desks, and we loved them. They were exactly what we wanted, and we just packed them up, and that's what we did. And it's actually really, really amazing because these areas here, the 3 drawers with the little shelf here, is exactly what we have either side. No word of a lie, it looks identical to this. Same colour, everything, same texture. It's pretty much set. It's pretty much set. That is how my house looks. So electronics wise, my husband has 2 screens, but I only have 1. So I'm actually going to give him 2 screens. Can I do that? Can I give him 2 screens? Because he's not a technophobe. He's the opposite to a technophobe. He is a superbly technological person. Everything he does is to do with technology, to be quite honest. He always buys these strange iPads and iPods, etc. and they always break, and he just leaves them by his desk here, and they're irreparable. The screens are often smashed, but yeah, there's loads of stuff there. So I'm gonna have to use stereos for that, which isn't the best thing to use, but it's probably gonna be the easiest, and it's the best way that I can describe how it actually looks. In terms of what we have over here, I do actually have, for lighting, I've got a little lamp, which, I'm just looking at it now actually. It's a little bit like that actually. That's the best way to describe it. It's a cone. And I've been trying to get the cone off for ages to give me more light, but I just can't figure it out. And every single time I think if it would be a good idea whether or not to take the cone off, it's always too hot for me to touch, so I can never do it. Anyway, so I've just done a cheat, and the cheat that I used was BB Ignore Gameplay Unlocks Entitlement. I also use BB Move Objects, if you are wondering, because that's what I tend to use whenever really. We do have some really big office chairs. We have some humongous leather chairs, in fact, just like this. I think the chairs themselves don't have this many little dots in them. I don't know what else to call them. I'm not one of those people that makes chairs. But the chairs themselves are actually quite nice. I actually really enjoy using mine. It does squeak a little bit when I'm doing my videos, and it can be really disturbing. I just try not to think about it. We also have a little dog bed just to the side here. It's actually incredibly cute because my little baby does actually have, I think, 2 or 3 beds all piled on top of each other because he likes to keep himself really warm, which is really cute. But yeah, that's how it looks. And I think to finish off this corner, I'm going to go for a big stereo here because we actually do have a stereo here. It's a proper custom-made sound system, and it doesn't really work very well, unfortunately. Nothing really works well in my house, but that's what we have. It's not my favourite, it's not my given choice. In fact, my husband chose it. I'm not big on it. In fact, it never gets used. I always said don't buy it because it won't get used. And what do you know? It didn't get used. But there we go. So that is pretty much the lounge bit finished off in terms of that side. Oh, we do have some little bits and bobs. We do actually have a collection of books, etc., because this is usually where our files are kept. Not really the important files, because we don't keep them in the house. They are completely secured at my parents' house. But the files like random paperwork, etc., is all kept underneath there as well. And I do actually have just some random things out. I think that this must be receipts, etc., from just random shops. Shopping, etc., general cones, cans, whatnot. I usually have about 2 cups, maybe even 3 cups of water just surrounding my desk here. And that's because I always forget to move them. And I always feel like I want 1 cup on my desk because I always run out. But yeah, that is what's going on there. I wish I had a feather there. I really would love a feather there, but unfortunately, I don't even know where to get one from. But we're going to move on to my television, and I don't actually use my TV very much, and it's a real shame. The cabinet which it's resting on is black, and it's actually a very modern cabinet. Maybe the closest I'm going to get is something a little bit like that, even if I know it's too big. I'm trying to think. If there's anything that I can get, it's also from Conforama, if you want to know where it's from. I keep pronouncing it differently each time. I think the television is more like this one, and it's a pretty big television, even though that looks really, really odd. Also, by the way, I am not advertising for Conforama. In fact, the company themselves were a little bit unhelpful, so we actually stopped shopping there in the end, because what happened was I got my laptop for my birthday there, and about a week later it broke, and they refused to let me take it back to the shop. So I actually had to get it repaired myself, even though it was from the shop, and it was an error with the laptop not usage, etc. And they admitted it was an error with the laptop, but nothing was ever done. I also just picked up my little man because he was pestering me and he wanted a little cuddle. But this is him. This is my little boy, Teddy, and I don't know if I've shared any pictures of him on social media yet, but he is so cute. So this is going to be the place where I'm going to put in a sofa. The sofa's going to go over here. The sofa is actually a little bit odd because it's big, it's grey, and it's possibly the biggest sofa I've ever seen in my life. And because I'm not actually going to be using this house, because it's not going to be shared on the Sims 4 gallery, I'm actually going to use a lot of moving objects here, and that is really the only way that I can show you how big this sofa actually is. And I don't know, I guess you can get a good idea of what it's all about, really. So to start with, it's a grey colour. It's very, very similar to that, and in fact, if I can get that colour on there, I think we've cracked it. That's my sofa. I'm not even joking. That is my sofa. It's huge. It's actually bigger than that. It actually comes out more. In fact, I wish I could get it like that, because that's more of a size of it. But I think just for this sake, I'm gonna put it like this. Even though it does flicker there, I actually hate flickering. I don't like it, and I wish that we didn't have that, but ho-hum, we do. We're going to move on, and I'm going to put myself in a coffee table. Now for my coffee table, there have been a few ups and downs with this coffee table. When I say ups and downs, I mean transport-wise. I actually had to take this coffee table single-handedly from Switzerland to Germany. I actually did. It took me a very long time, and I had to get it all the way down the stairs of my old house and all the way up the stairs of my new house. I said all the way up the stairs. It wasn't even all the way up the stairs. It was on the ground floor. But anyway, it was a big hassle, but I'm glad it's over. And here we do have a little bit of an oddly shaped rug. It's more of a rug that's shaped like a grand piano. So I have like a fake cowl rug here, but it's not real. It's fake. It's legit fake. But the best way that I can do this really is maybe a little jungle rug. I guess, because nothing is a weird shape on here, apart from the circle one, but it just doesn't do it justice. Maybe that one, it's just too circular. I think my best option is probably to go for this one. Well, this is what I would have gone for if I didn't have the cow rug. So here you go. That's it. All right, well, we've got that now. I'm desperate to put a little comfort seat there, but I don't actually have one. I wish I did. We were gonna get little seats there, but we didn't actually end up doing it. And over here, we have the big dining room table. This tends to be where we do fondue, etc. And it is a glass table, that's why I'm putting it in glass. And it's rather large. It's a rather large table. I actually think that that one is more accurate to what it is because it's pretty big. And we've got a lot of seats there as well. The seats are not my favourite, in fact. They're really odd. They had this leather on the bottom of them. What actually happened was, over time, when people sat on it, if somebody was wearing black jeans, it would leave a bum print in the seats, and it just means that there are some seats which have bum prints on, and it looks tragic. Let me just tell you, it looks a lot better like that. I wish it looked that way, but it doesn't. The planet itself is really, really similar to this tree, and this is the one I'm gonna go for. It does have the whole circular thing going on. I don't know what you call it when a plant is a particular species of plant. I don't know. But yeah, it's got the whole spirally thing going on as well. It's really nice to look at. The only thing is, I don't know how often to water it, and it really confuses me because everyone keeps telling me not to water it. And I really want to water it all the time. Anyway, we're going to move on to the kitchen. This is the very large kitchen, which I have, and I'm going to say it's very large because it is. It's seriously ridiculously large for a kitchen. In fact, even now, I'm discovering drawers and cupboards which I never even knew existed every single week. This is no joke. I'm actually discovering things which I never even knew were there. They just somehow just end up there, and I'm thinking, where did that come from? I never saw that before, etc. But yeah, so all this is storage areas for different things. What I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to put in the cupboards, and then I'm going to go over and put in the electronics. So really just as usual, just as I usually build anything, that is how I'm going to do this build. It does also go right up to the corners as well. So we do have this, and this door here is actually a sliding door, but I couldn't find one. So I had to use this one, which was a little bit of a shame, but oh well. And in the corners here, we have a big problem. We don't have a window there. That's a really odd place to have a window. We definitely don't have a window in the kitchen. And we do have big drawers like that. I wonder if we can get an orangey colour. I actually think the brighter colour like that is more accurate to my kitchen. So I'm going to go for the brighter colour. Yeah, maybe that one. Because the wood itself is like a orangey browny colour. That's the best way to describe it. And it's just a little bit unusual. It's brighter than that. So that's a little bit old, a little bit dated for my house. I think that's pretty good the way that that's looking. And then we do have some really, really big drawers going on. So we actually have them going all the way across here, and they're pretty big drawers. I don't know, what do I do here? What do I do? And also we've got some more plate drawers, etc. By the way, there are never plates in here, and they never look this good. We have random bits and bobs of plates just from various places that we've picked up. They're just there. We even have Coca-Cola glasses from McDonald's because we just do. I don't know what it is about them. We have the choice of several other glasses, and yet we choose to use those. I don't know what it is. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put in a little corner piece, and we are going to twizzle this round and have the plumbing bit here. Now there's definitely a window here because I always remember that when I'm looking outside, it's petrifying at night. And one time what happened was I was sat at my desk here, so I was in the lounge with my husband, and what happened was my dog started barking manically, and he was going crazy. I turned around and there was this random old lady staring right into my window like that. It was crazy. But anyway, this is where we have our food sometimes. We don't always use it. It's just there. In fact, we don't often use it at all, if I'm being really honest with everybody. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I am going to corner this bit off because I don't actually think that that bit belongs to us. I think that this part down here is the next people's. And around here, we do have bin bags, but we don't put anything in them. I think the best way to, I don't know, put them in there is maybe barrels. Does that look a little bit too piratey? I don't know. Anyway, that is my kitchen so far. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that and I'm going to put a little chest of drawers there because I actually think there's one. No, there's two. There's a double one there. There are two of those things. Like that. Maybe I'll just take that one off. Yeah, may as well. Alright, now what we have is the fridge. And the fridge itself is a pretty big fridge. It's like, well, alright, it's about that size. I say pretty big. It's bigger than most fridges, I think. But it doesn't actually store that much in it, unfortunately. And I've had some major fridge issues. In fact, if anybody can help me, I would appreciate it so much. But anyway, this is what's been happening. Every single time I put food in my fridge, it leaks from the top and it's like water falling on my food. And I've tried to turn the settings up and down and I have no idea what's going on. And I have to wipe it down with tissues every day. But it's just really annoying when I have fruit in there and just general things. Why am I having fruit in my fridge? Don't ask me. But yeah, it can be. And I'm trying to figure it out. But if you know how to do it, then please let me know and I can fix it. Anyway, this is the microwave area. So we actually have the microwave above in this part and it's actually built into this whole place here. But what actually happened was the people that lived in this house before us actually broke it because the kitchen came with the house, and usually for Germany. But yeah, the kitchen did, and what happened was they broke it, they left it like that, and there we go. We've got two microwaves in our kitchen, one works, one doesn't. We have a soda stream here. I love soda stream, I live by it, it's my favourite thing. And we also have a ginormous coffee machine here. And the reason is because we got a really big discount from MediaMart. I think my husband had something that went really wrong for him, and what happened was he decided that he would get a voucher off MediaMart, and they gave us a ridiculous amount of money for the store, and we just didn't know what to do with it, so we bought a really big coffee machine, and that was it. Yeah, so I think that's the kitchen pretty much finished off. I mean, I know it's a really basic house, but the house itself is a rented house. It's not my actual home itself, it's rented and it doesn't belong to me. In this place over here, we have actually a pantry. So I'm probably gonna put loads of these in because they are basically stacked rails of just various things. It does actually have a corner piece there. But yeah, we have lots and lots of things there, mainly glass bottles and things, and that's where I go and put my things eventually. We also have a ladder in there. We have Christmas decorations and some random objects. We really do. And we also have some potatoes, really strangely. In fact, maybe not so strange for a pantry, but they're just randomly there and I haven't moved them in a really long time and I don't even know if they're okay anymore. And this here is the tool cabinet. So it's a really odd space, but we have that there, which is really unusual. And then going on to this part of my house, it's actually pretty dark and we do have a little bit of an overhang there, so that was quite nicely done. Now this really doesn't have a lot here. In fact, it has a lot of storage bins and this is mainly where I keep my cardboard. It is a shame because I couldn't get the staircase being curved. It actually comes down and then it comes down again. So it's like an L-shaped staircase, if that makes sense. And that's where we have a dog bed. We have various items that we just haven't moved and it's a little bit hectic underneath there. Maybe a picnic basket. I think that we will keep our picnic baskets underneath there. And I say that because we got two amazing hampers for our wedding gifts and we'll probably keep them underneath there because there's nowhere else to put them. There's also a bike under there. Really crazy, but yeah, it's under there. Anyway, that is the staircase finished off. I don't think I can really put much else there. Maybe a banister would be the best choice. I don't want to go into split flooring, so I'm probably not going to do that. Anyway, this is the washroom. So just to make it superbly simple, I'm going to put in an appliance. So for the washing machine and dryer in this room here, what I ended up doing was I ended up using a little bit of moving objects, which I did. And I thought the best way to do it would be to have the hats, because it looks as if they're spinning round the hats maybe in there. That's the best way I can think about it. I don't really know. And on the floor, we tend to have a lot of piles of clothes and just random things that I tend to be sorting out. So I am going to put a little bit of clutter around, and that is me being completely honest and saying that sometimes my neatly folded clothes are just on the floor like that. And we just have a few piles scattered around. They tend to be my husband's shirts as well. So he has a lot of business meetings and stuff, so he needs to have like shirts ready, etc. So yeah, that is how I think the room is. And we do also have a little bit of a filing cabinet in there too. I think that's mainly for cards, strangely, like cards that people send us. I don't know. And I do understand that this is a little bit away from the wall, but I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. But that is the end of the downstairs of my house. So I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all for part 3. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you all soon.